Have you ever just stopped and wondered how a huge company, I mean a really massive one, keeps track of every single thing? Every dollar, every product, every person, without it all just collapsing into complete chaos? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the hidden brain of a business, the central nervous system that makes it all work.
I mean, just picture it for a second. Every single day in a business is like this. Whirlwind of activity. You've got sales flying in, suppliers that need to get paid, inventory moving from the warehouse to the shelf, employees clocking in and out. It's just a constant storm of information. So how does a company not just, survive this storm, but actually use it to get smarter? That's the big question we're tackling. And the answer to steering through all that chaos is a really elegant and powerful system. It's called the Accounting Information System, or AIS for short. Now, don't let that formal-sounding name intimidate you. At its heart, the idea is actually pretty simple. An AIS takes all of that raw, messy data, every sale, every purchase, every single payroll entry, and it transforms it into useful information that leaders can actually use to make decisions. It's the engine that turns all that noise into clear signals. Honestly, the best way to wrap your head around an AIS is to think of it exactly like a central nervous system for the company. It has sensors everywhere, feeling out what's happening in sales, in the factory, in finance. It processes all that information, and then it sends out signals to coordinate everything, making sure all the different parts of the organization are working together. So this system, it basically has three main jobs to do. First, it's got to support the day-to-day grind, making sure invoices get paid and the lights stay on. Second, it's there to help managers make smarter choices, guiding everything from what to do today to big picture strategy. And third, it's like a guardian, protecting the company's assets and making sure everything is properly accounted for. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But what's actually under the hood of this thing? Let's pop it open and break down the 6 essential parts that make an AIS tick. Now, the most important thing to get here is that an AIS is so much more than just a piece of software. It's a whole ecosystem. You got the people who actually use it, the procedures, or rulebook they follow, the raw data itself, the software that crunches the numbers, the IT infrastructure, the servers and computers that it all runs on, and this is a big one, the internal controls that protect the whole shebang. If you take away even one of those pieces, the whole system starts to wobble. So now that we know all the parts, let's see how they actually work together. Information doesn't just splash around randomly. It flows through a company in 3 very distinct but interconnected cycles. First up, you've got the expenditure cycle. This is pretty straightforward. It's where the company spends its money. So think about a car maker buying steel or a coffee shop buying a new espresso machine. This cycle handles everything from placing that order to actually paying the bill. It's all about getting the stuff the business needs to function. Next, we have the conversion cycle. This is where the magic happens, really. It's the value add stage. So that car company takes the steel it just bought and turns it into a car. The coffee shop takes those beans and brews a cup of coffee. This cycle is all about tracking the costs and the steps involved in actually creating the final product or service. And finally, we get to the revenue cycle. This is the part everyone likes. It's where the company gets paid. This covers the entire process, from a customer ordering a product to shipping it out to collecting the cash. This is what completes the whole loop, turning that finished product back into money that flows into the business. Okay, so we've got all this data constantly flowing through these cycles. But for any of that data to be useful, it needs a home. It needs to be organized. So where does it all live? Let's take a look at the digital filing cabinets of the AIS. The absolute heart of the system's memory is what's called the master file. You can think of this like the company's main address book or its official ledger. It holds all the permanent data, like your complete list of customers, your inventory of what's on the shelves, or your main chart of accounts. It gives you the current state of play. So, how does that master file stay accurate and up to date? Well, that's where transaction files come in. These are the daily logs of activity. Every sale that was made, every payment that came in, every item that was shipped. They're basically temporary bundles of information used specifically to go in and update the balances in the master file. Next up, we have reference files. I like to think of these as the system's official rulebooks. They store all the standard information that doesn't change very often, but is essential for processing things correctly. Stuff like tax rate tables, product price lists, or a list of approved suppliers. They're all about ensuring consistency. And finally, there's the archive file. This is the company's long-term memory. It's digital attic, if you will. It holds all the records of past transactions, creating a complete historical log.
And this is absolutely crucial for creating an audit trail and for looking back to analyze how the business has performed over time.
So we've got this complex, powerful system with all its components and cycles and files. But these things don't build or run themselves. So who's behind the curtain? This is where accountants play a really critical and often misunderstood role. See, accountants actually wear 3 totally different hats when they interact with an AIS. They are, of course, users. They're in there every day, inputting data and pulling reports. They're also auditors, the ones who come in and check the system for accuracy and integrity. But here's the role people often forget. They're also designers, helping to shape the fundamental logic of the system itself.
And this brings us to a really, really important distinction. The accountant is responsible for designing the conceptual system. They're the architects. They answer the what questions. What information do we need to capture? What are the business rules? Where should the information go? Then, the IT professionals take that blueprint and they build the physical system. They write the code, build the databases, and manage the servers. It's a vital partnership. One cannot function without the other.
All right, so after all of that, the components, the cycles, the human effort, what's the bottom line? Why does any of this matter? Why is a well-designed AIS one of the most valuable assets a company can possibly have?
Here's the payoff. A great AIS goes way, way beyond just keeping the books. It actively adds value to the business. It can help improve product quality while cutting costs. It boosts efficiency across the board. It strengthens the supply chain. It provides a rock-solid foundation for internal controls. And all of these benefits really lead to one ultimate destination: sharper, faster, and just plain better decision-making for the entire organization.
And that really is the main takeaway here. A truly effective accounting information system isn't just a rearview mirror that shows you the company's financial past. It's a sophisticated dashboard and a GPS. It provides the critical insights you need to navigate the road ahead. It is the nervous system that not only keeps the business alive and running today, but helps it actually thrive tomorrow.